And do you try to amortize your bonds, retire your bonds according to the life of the vessel?
He has a wonderful way. We look at our bonding, our service obligation, our debt service obligations, and we have them so that they remain relatively constant for our fares, so we don't go up or down depending upon whether we're paying back bonds or not paying back bonds, because our fares shouldn't depend upon whether we have funded them through self-generated revenues that we put into funds or if we bonded. And so they have a ladder system where they will start to pay off bonds after another bond issue is paid off, and so it keeps the debt service relatively constant. That's how they do, and
so it doesn't affect fares.
Correct. And so he looks at it.
Right now you have $70 million in bonds up there outstanding.
Yeah, about 70, 75, somewhere in
Yeah,
there.
I looked at the report. Interesting. And fares, you mentioned fares. You don't have to apply to any regulatory body to change your fares?
That's correct. The provision in our Enabling Act is that if we get a petition of 30 passengers, then we have a hearing on the fares, where they can go but that has happened once in our experience, and the question was how we do our fares for any particular type of service have to be for the cost of that particular service, or can we price our different services for public policy considerations as opposed to cost considerations. And the DPE at the time found for us that we were able to price them on public policy considerations. We can charge more for a particular service, even though it doesn't cost as much, because we think we should either be discouraging that or something along that line, and we can do more subsistence pricing for other parts.
Other forms of transportation would have standard ways of looking at costs. Cost per mile, cost per passenger mile, cost per. That doesn't seem appropriate. You're fairly unique. Just the difference between Nantucket runs and the Vineyard are very different, as you pointed out. Right. The high speed works on the Nantucket run because you have a 30-mile run out there, and you can get the benefit of getting that vehicle up and moving.
About halfway through when you get out of
on these runs, 40% of your time is in port on a high speed. But can you compare your operating costs with any other relative business? They talk about Seattle ferries. They talk about. I haven't figured out how you would do it. I was in a business where we had to do that.
It'd be great to have the money that Seattle has.
Really?
But they have so many more
You understand
fares.
the question?
Well, they're also part of the Washington Department.
State.
And
Yeah.
They also subsidize.
They're heavily subsidized.
Yeah.
As the HMS report points out, that we're one of the few ferry operators in the country, not the world, that Farebox pays for the operations.
Years ago in collective bargaining, we did some comparison of the fares charged by high-speed operators, passenger only, to see how we were doing. And our fares for the IANA were relatively low. But again, that shows that in a private market, for here to Boston to P-Town, things like that, it's not the cost as much as it is the attraction. They can increase the fares because it's a popular destination and high-speed travel. So the fare is.
And you're also closer to a major metropolitan area.
Right. So you can't even charge the fares. You have to look at the operating costs, and then you have to delve into everyone's financial statements and figure that out.
C Street might be
It's 4 o'clock.
It's difficult.
4 o'clock. Okay.
Time to eat.
And then the last question remaining is number 10. You guys have talked a lot about your efforts to sort of look at alternative energy ideas and investigate that. Personally, I think it would be nice to start seeing some of those around Woods Hole. down at parking lots.
Yeah,
I know
PVs,
That we
it's cheap.
talked about.
I thought they were making money already. I mean, these things can actually generate revenue.
What, the solar?
Yes, maybe that's not the example, but the.
No, it
Well,
does.
they're completely self-sufficient and maybe
Sure.
generating.
I think when we proceed with, you know, the Woodsell Terminal building, we have to have a little section in there about the green aspects of that building. Because there are some, I think Terry emailed you and
Right.
mentioned.
Yes,
mentioned
yeah.
Yeah, we
Well,
did that,
there
yeah.
are some
And so, I mean-
strong recommendations in the ENF, or in the certificate from the state.
Right. And
You mean whether it'll qualify as a lead property?
Well, just
No.
other.
No, but just, I think they're, whether they're looking at, what's the energy?
PV?
Geothermal.
Geothermal. That's the- I'm kidding.
That's expensive.
Well, but maybe, I mean, they're investigating that, all the different type of materials they're using for conservation. I mean, this building, I think, has
Energy's
some.
expensive.
The problem is, we looked at the LEED certification process for this building, and we talked to Hui, who went through the process for one of their buildings, and they weren't really enamored with the process.
It's a sales tool for the architects. I said
Yeah.
that last time.
Right, okay.
Really,
So-
if it's done right, you just have to have the good.
No, I disagree, Doug. I
But
disagree.
sell it, I'm just saying.
I know,
But
so,
what we're saying
it's
is,
the
we
same
want to
thing.
we want to use it as a guide,
yeah,
but I lost it when they said you could get LEED certification if you pay money to somewhere.
yeah.
You know, and I thought, this is like, you know, the Roman Catholic Church's indulgences years
Yeah.
ago. This started the whole.
Same thing.
So
Is
that-
that you're talking about the lead certified? I'm
Yeah.
talking about the geothermal.
No.
No, no,
Yeah,
oh,
I know
no.
geothermal works, but I'm just saying it's more
No,
expensive.
no, we're looking into geothermal, but the LEED process, we think was a good idea to start with. We think it's become out of touch a little bit,
Mhm.
and we hope to
Yeah.
get all the benefits of what they provide without going through the additional costs.
Whether the building code's already.
Right. The building code has
I don't
really,
think that either.
Do they have, is there a plan for radiant heat?
I don't know. I think-
We haven't gotten to that
We
level
haven't
yet.
got to that level.
Okay.
I'm trying to get the
All right,
It should be.
okay.
schematic design finished.
All right.
I think that's,
Then the design development will happen.
well, thank you.
Well,
Are we
that's-
through, or-
That was one of the